Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of DC Action Hour. Bam, pow, wow. All right, hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us. It gets dark here every time we do it. All right, my name is Jeff from Super Geeked Up. This is DC Action Hour, where we talk all the cool superhero shows on the CW network. So Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow, but it's over for the season, so we won't be talking about that today. But all the other three shows are coming to their season finales. Two more to go after the ones that just aired that we'll be talking about this week. Joining me as always, my co-host Mark Spile.
Hello.
All right, hello, sir. And returning for the second time as a special guest is Aaron Garcia. Hello.
Hey. Hello.
Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you had me back.
Awesome. Good. Most people tell us they hate being on. So I'm just kidding.
I'll say that afterwards.
Right. Off the air. You'll tell us.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully if some of you are watching live, as always, we really appreciate that. There's a live chat going on next to the YouTube video. You can also tweet us at Super Geeked Up. We'll share some of your comments. We always love hearing from you as we do the show. We'd like to kick things off before we get into each individual show. We'd like to kick things off with the super tweet, which is a fun question we theme to either what's going on in the world, or that sounded like we make it political. We don't do that at all. I mean, usually what's going on in the episodes, or in this case, Mother's Day. That's what I meant by that. Mark came up with a Mother's Day themed question, which basically is, who is your favorite fictional mom character? So a character who's a mom. It does not just have to be from the DC universe. We kind of open this up to any fictional character you would so desire. We've already gotten some cool answers on Facebook and Twitter, actually, that I will share. But let's go over there, and I'm going to go check the live chat. But Aaron, who is your? You said one person came to your mind right away, right?
Because honestly, when you think about it, you're like, wow, I never really thought about which characters are moms. You just don't think of. I don't know. For me, I don't think about it, but the only one that popped in my head was Elastigirl from The Incredibles.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. That's who popped in.
Yeah. And it was mainly because, like, she is a mom, that she's, like, has a teenage daughter, a kid in elementary school who seems to be a little bit, wild and crazy, and then a toddler, and then she's fighting crime, too. So that's what popped in my head when you mentioned it.
Nice. So on Twitter, also actually on Facebook, Carrie Johnson said Martha Kent, more specifically, Smallville's Mama Kent, Annette O'Toole, is a national treasure. Excellent answer, sir.
You just said Martha. You got two moms. One, see.
Oh, you're doing your Batman heavy Superman. You love, man. That is your favorite part of that movie. Hey, that's all you have to say to end all conflict. I actually kind of like that moment actually in the movie. I know other people like Mark's did not enjoy it as much. Ian Cullen from Sci-Fi Pulse just messaged me something about he's gonna watch soon. He's finishing a round of golf. I don't know. So sure, Ian, we can watch on the golf course, I guess. All right. Anyway, Mark, so I got some more answers I'm going to share, but Mark, who is your favorite fictional mom?
So that was kind of hard, but I tried to keep it DC if I could, and I went with Kate Spencer, Manhunter, because she's a federal prosecutor, single mom who turns into a vigilante after some criminals get out. I don't know if you know her or not.
She's called Manhunter?
Yep, she's one of the Manhunters, like the third or fourth or whatever. Group?
Wait, see, this always confused me. First off, we have Martian Manhunter, obviously, Johns. But there's a whole group I remember from the animated series called, I thought, the Manhunters, that had to do with the Lantern Corps.
Yeah, they were like before the Green Lanterns, right?
Does she have to do with them?
Yeah.
Sort of. So there's a superhero vigilante named Manhunter. There was an old one, like Golden Age one. Then there was a newer one they tied somewhat to the Manhunter somehow, like the technology has. We didn't know it, whatever. And Kate Spencer's like one or two after him. And she just, basically her deal is just that she goes, federal prosecutor gets upset, supervillain's getting loose because of nuances or something, or loopholes. She breaks into the weapons locker room thing, like where the prisoner equipment gets kept, like from the supervillains, and hodgepodges some of that equipment together, and becomes the new Manhunter. So and starts taking them on. It was a good comic book run, and I remember it being like, you know, interesting, her trying to juggle being a prosecutor and also a mom. So she did not get treated well in the Arrowverse, unfortunately. Kate Spencer was the DA for Mayor Brother Blood, and she's the one that got her neck snapped by by Slade or Slade's goons or whatever. So this show does not like Manhunter. Like, they've used a lot of the Manhunter characters, and they've like the dude from the one episode back whenever there was a rogue Argus agent, and they I forgot what he was doing exactly, but he was the first Manhunter guy. So they don't like Manhunter.
That Manhunter, wasn't he also like in a Batman, like, or in a series with Batman for a little bit, and then they killed him off in the comic books? Because I'm starting to think it's a different one than the Green Lantern, because those were like kind of like the Guardian, or the totally different guys, right? Yeah. This one, I think there was a character called the Guardian or something like that, I think, who was from the 70s or late 60s, and I think they killed him off. So it makes sense of like maybe she became the new one eventually, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's complicated. There's an entire race of android Manhunters. That's when you're thinking of the Guardians.
Right. That's nothing to do with Kate Spencer, right?
Yeah. And then there was a Golden Age Manhunter from the 1940s, Paul Kirk. Then there was a Manhunter in the 1970s, I think. And
that's the one I think I'm thinking of.
Oh, so the one I was thinking of, Mark Shaw, was the one that they had as a rogue Argus agent. He has a costume and stuff that looks very similar to the Manhunter's androids. I think it's just like they retconned it, and they're like, hey, and they did a big crossover. The Millennium was a big comic book crossover, and that's where they brought in the Manhunters and stuff. Anyway, we've diverged quite a bit off topic.
So one last
I want to figure that out.
in the TV show Arrow, did Kate Spencer become Manhunter, or was she just a DA?
She was this DA. She got her neck snapped. Do you remember the DA got killed?
I thought maybe she was Manhunter too. I don't know if we saw her ever be that or not.
No, I was disappointed by that. I suspect they didn't do it because they knew that Laura Lance was going to go that route. And she basically very similar origin. So yeah, but Manhunter's cool.
In the live chat, we got Victor Snyder, Sci-Fi Pulse, Carrie Johnson. Thank you, gentlemen, for watching. Victor Snyder says that's a hard question to answer. Morgan Le Fay from King Arthur story. Very interesting.
Wow. Interesting, Mom.
So Carrie's already had shared his answer. He actually has a good counter question I'm going to get to in a minute, but let me share some other things that came in through our Facebook page, which is Super Geeked Up Live. Dawn Loria said, Molly Weasley, bless her, she had 7 kids. And then Sarah Moore replied, not my daughter, you bitch, which is one of Molly's lines in Harry Potter. Carlos Ramirez says Sarah Connor. I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sally McGarvey says Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. That's all on Facebook. Thanks, guys, for those answers. My answer was Sarah Connor as well, because Terminator is one of my favorite. Terminator. The first Terminator is actually probably my third favorite movie of all time. T2 is an amazing movie. And she obviously, like, particularly in T2, I mean, she's so fucking kick-ass. It's ridiculous, right? But in both cases, you know what? It's all about, I mean, she's very much about protecting her son, right? And making sure her son lives and survives. So I think she's a pretty good mom in terms of, you know, looking out for her son. And she's also trying to save the whole world. That's pretty awesome. She's a good mom in her own way. She does it by her own rules. Yeah. Well, first off, look, it's not her fault she got thrown in the insane asylum. She's telling the truth. They just think she's nuts. She's not actually nuts. Yeah. You know what I should have said, though, as a shameless plug? I should have said my own character from Super. That's what I thought you were going to do. I thought of it as we were doing the show. Like, so Darkstar, who's a super villain. Again, this is a shameless plug. I don't care. supervillain who gets pregnant by her superhero nemesis. That's a series that he called Super Knocked Up. You can see it on our supergeekedup.com or this YouTube channel. That maybe actually is my favorite mom because I created her.
Happy Mother's Day to her.
Yes, happy Mother's Day. Actually, happy Mother's Day to all the fictional moms, but also to all the real moms out there, our own moms, and also all the geeky moms out there who love this kind of geeky stuff. And particularly if you're passing on your geeky knowledge to your kids, that's awesome. Or you take your kids to Comic-Cons, that's great. What do we got here? Adil Habib in the chat says, "Sick stream, ma'am. I'm streaming my Flash and Arrow theories as well." Oh, that's awesome. Cool. He says, "Who do you think will die?" All right. Well, we'll get to that maybe. I don't know. Probably everybody. Just kidding. That's a good question, actually, to address. Maybe we can get that later on. Anyway, but Carrie Johnson has said his counter question was, who is the worst superhero villain mom? His vote is Rhea from Supergirl, or honorable mention to Moira Queen. What do you guys think? Any worse choices for
I have to think about that.
Yeah, Terry Hatcher's mom, her character is pretty bad. I mean, killed the dad, you know.
Yeah,
but he betrayed the family, the name. That to me, that's come on.
Are you being sarcastic now?
I'm rooting for her in the series.
Are you really?
I'm rooting for her.
Oh God,
yeah, I know she's gonna get beat.
I love Kevin Sorbo in that role.
Oh no, I like him, but I kind of was like, good for her. She's getting to be this really bad villain. That it's not, it's not one of those. I'm here for the one episode and then I'm gone. I kind of like that she's getting to play a good villain.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. It's interesting. I actually don't think Moira was really okay. I know she's bad, I guess, but. I don't know. I definitely believe she very much loved her kids, Oliver and Thea.
Oh, yeah.
She made some bad choices. What character doesn't in that show, right?
She's better than Lena Luthor's mom.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Lillian Luthor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's bad. We're going to get to see next week, it looks like, from the preview things. Her and Cadmus are coming back, seems like. Oh, I guess that's actually a great segue into Supergirl. That's what we're going to talk about first, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, we're going to start talking about the episodes that just aired this past week. We'd love to hear what you think in the chat. We're going to start with Supergirl. We'll do a little bit of quick news. We'll do the Flash, and then finish it up with Arrow. So, Supergirl, this episode is the 20th episode of Season 2. It is called The City of Lost Children, written by Gabriel Lanis and Anna Muskie-Goldwyn, directed by Ben Hernandez-Bray. Help me out here, guys. As usual, I'm doing this off the cuff. The summary, if I forget anything important. So basically, there's kind of two main storylines going on. I'm actually not even sure which one I would call the A and B plot, to be honest with you. I guess maybe the A plot is more Jimmy, right, or James, and the kid. So anyway, there's this telekinetic alien who kind of goes off the rails, and she's kind of going crazy with her powers, and they wind up finding her son, who has the same kind of powers, and he has a connection to James, who, by the way, as Guardian, is feeling that he's not really making a difference because the people he helps are kind of afraid of him and his armor and mask and stuff. So he doesn't feel like he thinks Kara, Supergirl, is kind of a symbol of hope, and he doesn't really get to do that. So he's kind of questioning his vigilante ways and if it's making a difference. So anyway, but this kid comes along. He doesn't basically speak to anybody, but James kind of has a connection with him. And so he kind of takes the kid under his wing, tries to get him to open up, and I hope that they can find his mother. And he takes him to the Daily Planet, where, oh, that's right. There's some kind of fast food, right? Because he's never had, I don't know, there's some kind of burger before or something. Oh, they don't have Big Belly Burger here, do they, though? That's only on Flash. They talk about that, right? It's only a Central City thing, I guess. Or maybe it's an Arrow, too. I don't know. I always like it when HR talks about Big Belly Burger.
I feel like Arrow's mentioned it before.
They might have, because that's the same Earth, right? So that would obviously make sense. Anyway, what's causing these telekinetic people to go kind of crazy is that Lena Luthor and Rhea, who is her new partner, Lena doesn't know, she's kind of up to no good. They're building this, I don't know what the fuck you're going to call it. I mean, it's a gateway, basically. I don't know what it's supposed to be, though. What is it
It's
actually
a
supposed to be?
Stargate, basically.
That's what it is. But
Yeah.
What does Lena think it is supposed to be used for? To harness resources for Earth or something?
I think unlimited energy, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So Lena's motives are good. You know, she thinks she's going to help, obviously, the planet better. Ray has other plans, as we find out later. No surprise. What the fuck is? Oh my god, I'm blanking. Who's Mon-El? Mon-El actually thinks he spots Ray at one point walking down the city, but he's like, I must just be imagining things more or less. That can't be her. And and they find out that Ray is behind it because Kara calls Lena and Ray answers the phone and basically just tells her, like, haha, I'm kind of behind all this. And I'm going to kind of, get you back for taking my son away from me. And so the James is trying to help. I don't even know what the hell happens after this, guys. I know he's going to. They find the mom. There's this whole group of telekinetic people. They find they're all in hiding, basically in this kind of warehouse type area. But this device is going off because Rhea turns it up to kind of like full max. So all these telekinetics are about to let loose these powers. But James is able to make a connection to the kid and get the kid to calm down, and that makes all the other ones calm down. So he kind of saves the day there. And then Rhea basically has every pretty much Daxonite person that is still in existence, I would say, comes through this Stargate. It seems like there's, I don't know, hundreds or thousands of ships that come through. And basically, so it kind of ends with like, there's going to be this Daxonite invasion that they have to deal with. I think that pretty much covers most, right? The main stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right, so that's basically what happened. Let's get into what we thought about it. And, of course, I'll share some chats here. All right, so let's see. What did you guys what did you guys think just overall? I guess maybe let's start with the James and the kid storyline. I like that there's actually a storyline that focused more on James. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice to see him and have a connection with the kid. I thought that worked pretty well. I thought it was a little, I don't know if I want to say overwritten or hitting on the head a little bit too much, particularly at the end. Kind of just, I don't know. I almost felt like they just kind of kept going too much about like him talking to the kid and just, I don't know. Like I thought maybe sometimes it wasn't quite as subtle as maybe I thought it could have been. Like I got the idea, like real early on, what they were trying to do, And I think it worked though, for the most part, to be honest with you. I think it worked fine. But what did you guys think of that?
Yeah, I was happy that they like kind of gave him, because I feel like out of all the characters out of Supergirl this season, he's kind of been the lost one. Like I feel like he's gotten a bad rap this season. Just not much with his character. Even the Guardian tends to get his butt kicked a lot. It feels like when he fights like the really tough villains, and it was kind of nice to see him have his own kind of storyline to where it was a little bit of a progression for him. But I kind of felt a little bit too like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it was like it's getting so close to the end of the season that I wish this had happened earlier to kind of give him a little bit more. And I still don't know, like, is he still going to be the Guardian? Or is he going to be like, well, I'm going to be a little bit nicer in that and still be who I am and stuff? I just don't know what they want to do with that character. I just feel like he's lost.
He just needs to paint it yellow like the comic book.
Yeah.
I'd be scared.
Is Guardian yellow in the comic book?
Yeah.
Hang on. In the comic book, is Jimmy Olsen Guardian?
No.
No, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Who is Guardian? Just somebody other?
I think even the Guardian is like, wasn't he set like a 1940s superhero? Like he's not a modern day.
This is like Manhunter. It's a complicated.
We already went through Manhunter. I guess we don't need to go through all that. Let me share some chat things. Sci-Fi Pulse in the chat says, I prefer him as James Olsen as opposed to Guardian, if honest. Victor Snyder had said, are they just looking for some pizza? I think the James plot was a bit overdone. Carrie Johnson says the device was supposed to revolutionize transportation, get Earth off fossil fuels, I guess, about the portal thing they were building. All right. Yeah. So
Just so you know, there's been like 3 Guardians or so, and his old costume was like blue yellow.
Yeah, that's the one I was familiar with.
Yeah.
I might even have that first issue or his first appearance. That's why I remember him.
I remember one of the newer versions. I don't know if it's a change of his origin or not. That they tied him to Cadmus quite a bit, when Cadmus was a secret government thing. So,
do you guys? So Sci-Fi Pulse brings up about he prefers him as James to Guardian. What do you guys feel? Again at the beginning of the season, I actually didn't really like the whole Guardian thing again because I just felt, why do they need to make every fucking character a superhero? So, some people can just be themselves. But I mean, I'm okay with it. Like him being Guardian, I'll be honest with you, I don't really need him to be Guardian at all. Yeah. I mean,
when's going to become Toy Boy?
Because his father's Toy Man.
Oh.
That's terrible though. Like, yeah, my Toy Boy. Oh boy. So bad.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It just feels like they don't know what to do with him. It felt like last season they thought, oh, he's going to be Kara's love interest, and then that didn't pan out. And then this season, honestly, it just felt like they focused on all these other characters, and he's kind of the, oh yeah, we gotta do something for him. And I feel like there's no real point to him right now. I just feel, why doesn't he just go back to Metropolis? And there's no real, even with because even when he took over with the television station, people were like, yeah, people wanted Cat to come back, and it just, I don't know, he just doesn't fit in. I don't know if they're forcing him, or I like him, but I just don't know, he's just not working anywhere. I feel like he's lost.
I kind of like him, actually, to be honest with you, just kind of go back to the roots of the character and be a photographer, and almost like maybe just do some investigative journalism. Maybe by photography, he gets into some, uncovers some, almost like a Snapper Carr would do, kind of maybe like, like some hard-hitting type undercover work, or, exposing villains or Cadmus or something like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel that could be, and maybe that's just because that's how I always think of, that character as the photographer.
Yeah.
But. And that got brought up in the show. He talked about the cameras and his father and stuff. That was nice.
Yeah, I felt like it was a good episode. At least he was able to, for him. But overall, I don't know. I feel like for that show, the last few, I'm waning. I'm just kind of, okay. Maybe it's, and I think that's happened with the people that love season 2 or sticking with it, and the people that love season 1 are starting to kind of,
Yeah, it was an abrupt change from season 1.
Yeah,
especially for Jimmy. Just in general, I don't know if it was a whole new staff of writers or what, but it was just like they're like, forget this, we're starting over.
Yeah, and I think I feel like it's kind of alienated people who liked it last season, and maybe the people from people who didn't like last season are starting to like this season. But I'm not hearing anybody really going, wow, this is that they're loving it. Even I just feel like everybody's in the middle, and it's a shame because I want the show to be good. I want it to, but yeah, the writers this season, I've just not. I like the new elements they brought in with Superman and some of the the villains and stuff, but overall, and the other character I was going to talk about, the character I'm starting to feel bad for, or I don't know, she just is Lena Luthor is just, I feel like she's like the goat of, each time she's so trusting and she gets screwed over. It's like I'm starting to feel bad for her, or does she deserve what she gets?
No, I like Lena, but that's why
her.
That's why she's gonna go dark, man. Because she's gonna be like, I can't be trusted.
She's been too trusting with it, but it's the villains doing it to her. It's not Supergirl.
No,
but Supergirl is lying to her.
Oh,
right. I mean, about being Supergirl. Yeah, but that's like in Smallville. At least that's what that's big. It was a big reason with Lex that Clark wasn't honest with him about all that stuff. So.
But would that make you get so angry that you would turn into a villain?
No, but I think it's definitely pointing her that way. I don't think it's going to be Kara so much. I mean, that might be they use as a tipping point or part of it if she finds that out. But I think it's just, the stuff with her mother and the life, and I think they're going to send her down that route.
I think there needs to be something more to make her go that.
Because right now build it up over next season, to be honest with you.
Okay, yeah, because right now she just feels like the person that holding the money bags, like she's just not sure what what I'm the one who's so I feel bad for her this episode. You know, she just didn't. You know, but we'll have to see if it makes her the Stark villain. I'm curious how they're going to approach it.
Let me share some stuff in the chat. Victor says, like, the show is getting too many major characters. That's what he feels. Sci-Fi Paul says, I'm surprised Supergirl even got renewed. The ratings are in the toilet, especially when compared to the other shows. Carrie Johnson says, when Lena got knocked out, I was just thinking of that, Carrie. I got those Smallville, everyone gets knocked out vibes. It's funny. And then Victor says, like Lex from Smallville, everyone is always painting her in a bad way. Yep. I did think it was kind of funny. Like, of course, I was like, yeah, of course Lena gets knocked out because she can't see something that's happening right now. Although, what was at the end? It was Kara and Manal were both there at the end, right? In the lab area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the reference to Batman. That was funny.
Wait, there's a reference to Batman?
Yeah.
What was
the beginning? Whenever Jimmy's talking to Wynn, saying like, you know, he looked at me in fear and stuff. It's like Batman's friend, and he's like, "Oh, you mean the one?" Yeah. Well, I don't know. Are they like friends? They're like frenemies.
He said it's like Clark's friend.
Or Clark's friend. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I missed that.
I missed that one.
He meant Batman. Oh, it makes total sense. I was like, who is he talking about? All right, that's good. I like that then.
Yeah. And then I don't know if they'd ever, if they ever said Martian Manhunter, like actually said Martian Manhunter before, but, you know, that story about him becoming a cop and stuff, and he became the Martian Manhunter, that was a nice little extra throw-in line, I thought. One thing I did not like was that gate, because is it just me, or like the math not make sense? Like the ships come through, they're like 4 across or something. You know, it wasn't just like one at a time coming through, and you see them like they're coming out of that gate, and then you see them like hovering over the city, and they look huge. They're just like, how huge was this freaking gate? If these ships were coming out of that gate like 4 at a time or more.
Coming through the gate, they look kind of smallish actually. You're right.
Yeah, I know they look like they could have been smaller ships, and then when they're over the city, they're like huge.
You're not understanding the science. It shrinks them when they go through, and then they get bigger.
Right.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you gotta think.
It uses atom technology in the atom suit.
Exactly.
They're like, how could they not find this giant? It's a monument gate out in the open, like a few miles away from National City.
That's another thing. It seems like it was quite close to the city, right? It wasn't that far away.
Yeah, it did seem like that. Yeah.
And the thing is huge. Yeah, exactly. It's like right, exactly. I was like, why is it so difficult for them to figure out what's going on?
We just thought they were filming Stargate there.
I'm like, oh yes, a new Stargate series. All right. Been waiting for that. Sci-Fi Paul says it's smaller on the inside. Okay, nice Doctor Who. All right. Victor says they did build that gate really fast. Yeah, I'm not sure what the timeline is supposed to be in between episodes, really, to be honest with you. So I guess, I'll give them that. What did I don't know. So I mean, I guess what do you think about the whole Rhea and Lena thing? Like, did that work for you guys? That like Lena would be going along with Rhea and trust her to kind of?
I don't know. I mean, to me, it kind of felt. Maybe I was kind of like, oh, come on, something's up. And then when she found out that, well, I know you're an alien, and then she still was trusting. To some extent, even if you're saying, oh, she might be turning, all this stuff is going to make her turn bad, it's her own fault. Because she did find out, that I know you're an alien. There's nobody else she could blame but herself. So it maybe to some extent it was a little the route they went with it, I don't know if it was believable.
Yeah, when we first saw Lena, she didn't trust aliens a whole lot. I mean, she wasn't like kill aliens, but she's the one that created that device to identify aliens in the first place. So she obviously
and you had somebody who flat out, lied to her, or like gained her confidence, and then she found out on her own accord it wasn't like, she told her that I'm an alien or anything. And for her to still be trusting over this big, thing that they were making, I don't know. I feel like that's her own fault.
Yeah, I think she'd go like, what alien are you?
I liked like in the previous episode that Lena was smart in like doing a little thing to figure out that she was an alien, and she caught her. Like that was good. Like she was like clever about it. Like that made sense for Lena. She's supposed to be really smart. Okay, with her going along with Ray, if she thinks it's kind of noble, you know, that she wants to help the Earth so much, and it's kind of like very against what the rest of the Luthor family is doing. But I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It is a little bit. Would Lena really just say yes? Okay, this woman who lied to me, but now I'm going to believe her because she's being nice. Maybe because she has such a. I mean, she has obviously a problem that she has such a bad. Yeah, she has mommy right. Her mother's been so terrible, really. And Ray was working all that. That's very true. She was very manipulative, smarter for being like a mother figure to her. So that I can buy that.
That's actually a good point, because it's kind of like you get so used to that from your mom and you don't see it. It's kind of like when you're just always in that kind of relationship with, with people, and you tend to get burned. But I was going to comment on Lena of the actress, and I always find this fascinating. I don't know if you guys ever feel this way, but when she does scenes with, like, let's say whether it's with Kara or with with Rhea or anything like that, I always feel like at times I can never it's interesting what she does, because at times I can't tell, like there's moments where I feel like, man, is she hitting on them? Like flat out, like I can't tell like her subtext, the way she performs it. Like I don't know whether she's just like, oh, I'm happy to be your friend, but I kind of she does this little. There's something about her, the actress, that kind of.
So you think it's Katie?
It has these vibes. Yeah, I don't know if it's like they're telling her to do that, but there's times where she'll do scenes with these characters, and they'll have these like quiet moments, and she'll kind of give them a look, or she'll kind of say something a certain way, and you're just thinking, oh, are they trying to say something? I don't know why it is, but with her character, I'm always seeing
she's
it.
just seducing you via the television screen. It's
Maybe I'm the only one, but even my wife sees it. Like we kind of laugh at it. Like it feels like, okay, they're having a conversation, but sometimes it feels like, is she subtly hitting on?
Like hitting on Kara or Ray, you mean?
Yeah, or just any.
Well, I think that's just what you want to see, Aaron.
No, it's funny. I would say that if my wife didn't also say it, because she was also kind of like, there's something that she does. Watch it next time. Her performance with that.
Yeah.
Now that I put it in your head, you're gonna start thinking.
Yeah. That's Katie McGrath. We've talked about it a couple. I like Katie McGrath a lot. Like I've known her for other stuff. I think she does a really awesome job.
Oh yeah. No, I've really enjoyed her in it. It's just there's times where we just kind of laugh that she'll kind of. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's what she conveys. She's so intense.
And that's kind of why I don't want Lena to go bad. I just think she is, because I actually find her very appealing as Lena, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I actually think she's quite charming, but I don't know. So that's funny.
That's one thing I've always thought was funny. I was just like, maybe I'm the only one, But like I've told my wife, and she's like, yeah, I kind of can see that. There's something, but I know it's not going there. It's just for some reason it always has that vibe.
In the chat, Victor said, I think she is just her true self to close friends. I think he means Lena, but tell me if that's what you meant, Victor. What did you guys actually near the beginning of this episode? Kara and Lena are having like lunch or something. What did I kind of thought this was a little funny. They were talking about like in sync, getting right reunion stuff, and like Timberlake and Britney Spears relations. Like I think it kind of fit though, I guess, with the ages those characters are, right? Like when they were like preteen girls, right? They would have been in.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it all. Think about it, yeah.
I'm not the right demographic.
Oh, I know. No, I know about that stuff, man. I don't care. You didn't know? You know JT? Come on, man. Justin Timberlake.
I thought they were talking about The Bachelor or something. I didn't know.
Oh, you're definitely not the right one for that. All right. Sci-Fi Paul says he's talking about Katie McGrath. I think it must be an Irish thing. She was also in Merlin. The show slow transition to her Breaking Bad as Morgana. Yeah, that's true. In Merlin, not this really ruined anything, but he's true. Like her character does start off very nice and then goes a different direction. So that'd be interesting if Lena parallels that. Merlin's a pretty cool show, by the way, if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen.
All right, let's see. Anything else to talk about with Supergirl?
Nope.
Okay. I guess I don't know. All right, let's do a rating. We do ratings out of a 5-star system, but we do capes for Supergirl. So maximum of 5 capes. That means we thought it was amazing. Aaron, what are you gonna give it? And you can do half ratings.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a half. I feel like it wasn't good or bad for me. It was in the middle, so I have to give it 2.5 capes. Yeah, it was just kind of, it was good, but it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I don't know. It was kind of in the middle for me.
All right. By the way, Victor said Lena may never had close friends in her life. With Kara, she can open up with her feelings. That could be true. It certainly seems like the friendship with Kara is very important to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Marks, what do you give it?
I feel similar. It was good, but wasn't like one of their better episodes overall. So I give it like 3 capes.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty similar to you guys. I think I'll give it 3.5 though, because I think I gave 3 last week, and I thought it was definitely better than that. I think, if I remember things correctly. But again, it wasn't fantastic, but it was still pretty good, pretty decent.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Before we're going to talk about Flash and Arrow, of course. But let's do a quick news item. We've talked about this a lot on the show, but now we've got some official stuff we can say about it, right, Marks?
Yeah, so we mentioned Black Lightning a few times as they've been working on the pilot, and word has come out that the CW has ordered the series. So no real details yet if it's going to be a full run of episodes or a shorter run like Legends of Tomorrow, but it's in the works. It's going to come out next season. Just to remind you kind of what that plot line is supposed to be. Jefferson Pierce made his choice. He hung up the suit and his secret identity years ago, but with one daughter hell-bent on justice and the other a star student being recruited by a local gang, he'll be pulled back into the fight as the wanted vigilante and DC legend Black Lightning. So,
oh no, another legend.
Oh, and in case you're not familiar, Black Lightning's got electrical powers, and he was the first Black or African American superhero to get his own comic book in DC Comics. He was created back in 1977. So,
very cool. By the way, folks, pretty much all the networks did what they're called their upfronts this past week. So we found out which shows got canceled, which got renewed, which guys get picked up. Interesting. I was talking about Timeless last week. Interesting that got canceled and then 2 days later renewed, basically.
I suspect time travel. I suspect time travel involved. It's a flashpoint.
That would be hilarious, right? Like the producers, we got canceled. We'll see about that.
Yeah. They killed the producer. Make sure he was never born, or whoever the executive.
Yeah, they switched up the network execs at NBC. They should have told me to joke about that actually when they on Twitter. Like our time travel device finally obviously worked.
They should do that.
Anyway, so what do you? I asked in the chat, are people looking forward to Black Lightning? Victor Snyder says, I look forward with hope. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't know a ton about Black Lightning. I didn't really read him growing up. So I don't know, but I'm still looking forward to it. I mean, I think it sounds cool. It sounds definitely, like you said, Marks, I think they're shooting in Atlanta, so it's a different feel than all the Vancouver shows probably to it. I'm looking forward to it.
We don't know 100% yet if it's going to be in the same Arrowverse or not. If it's on the same Earth as one of the two, like Supergirl's Earth or the Arrow Earth or not.
Or a totally new one.
So, it could be a totally new one. So
Oh,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'm kind of curious what direction, like how is it going to be different than maybe the other shows? Like I'm curious if if it's going to be where the other shows, I don't know, they just have a certain style to them, and kind of if this is DC's version of like what Marvel's done with their, not to say it's going to be as dark, but like an urban kind of crime kind of world, as like what Daredevil and Luke Cage and stuff like that, where it's a little just different, which is what I'm excited about, that it's not going to be exactly like the other shows, or at least I'm hoping.
Yeah, I doubt it'll be as dark, but maybe it will like Luke Cage really is the Harlem experience or whatever, like the whole subculture, or the whole community. Hopefully they'll do something like that. But also he's a dad too, and he's a retired hero coming back. So there's some different angles that we haven't seen before. CW Supergirl. You know who's going to win Father's Day? Super tweet.
There we go.
He's early candidate.
Cool. I would just like to, well, it also gives us another show, I guess, right, to talk about next season on DC Action Hour. And I would like to just say, let's talk about Black Lightning and stop talking about Legends of Tomorrow next season.
We'll give Legend of Tomorrow like a minute, and then we'll go into Black.
All right, so now what do we go? Flash next, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay, so this episode was called Cause and Effect. It was episode 21 of season 3, written by Juliana Neria and Lauren Serto. So, as we remember at the end of the last episode, Savitar revealed himself as future Flash, as Barry. So Savitar kind of explains, what's up with that. He explains that he's a time remnant of Barry, created by his future self while fighting Savitar. And he's the one that survives. That they kind of hinted at that whenever they went to 2024, and Barry had mentioned that almost all the time remnants died. But unfortunately, he felt that he got shunned by Team Flash, and as like the not real Barry, he became depressed, ran through time, became Savitar, and Savitar needs to kill Iris so that Barry will be forced to create him. So after revealing all that and showing that he's got a cooler suit, because the suit can like operate on its own, Cisco ends up proposing to stop Savitar by being kind of stopping him from being ahead of them, because he remembers everything as it's happened, because he's a future version, by like stopping Barry from getting new memories. So not a terrible idea necessarily, but of course it doesn't work out, and Barry loses his memories completely. Now it does sort of work in a way, unplanned. Savitar also loses memories, which also results in Wally losing his powers, since Savitar never gave him them. And Killer Frost isn't so thrilled about the turn, so she teams up with them to try to get Barry his memories back, so it'll fix Savitar also, which leads to an interesting team up. So meanwhile, pyromaniac named Lucius Coolidge, aka Heatmonger, gets released because of Barry's inability to testify correctly, because he can't remember anything, and of course Coolidge starts up a fire in an office building with a bunch of people in there. Flash tries to go there to try to stop it. Of course, he is doesn't remember very much of his experiences or how he uses powers. Luckily, the team has, with the help of Killer Frost, created a device to kind of jumpstart his memories, and they're able to do it through his suit's whatever, his antennas. I don't even know how that would work, but and jumpstart his memories. But to fully kick in, Iris has to kind of drudge up some memories of Barry's to get him to remember who he is. He's able to stop the fire with the help of Wally, who now also has his powers back. And meanwhile, while that's all been happening, Tracy and HR have developed a little romance going on while creating the Speed Bazooka. They show at the end of the episode, they show the team, the Speed Force Trap, the Speed Bazooka, but they reveal that unfortunately, like a lot of energy, like more than energy than's in the sun. So where are they going to get that from? Well, we get a final scene cut to some room with what I think is alien technology. I think I didn't really know at first where it was, but I believe actually it's from the Dominators episodes, and apparently it's being guarded by King Shark. I don't know how he got loose, but it should be interesting if they take him on.
All right. Well, the first thing I'll say is I think this is one of the most hilarious episodes they've done. Mainly with the amnesia thing. like some of the stuff I was just laughing my ass off with Barry, particularly like the thing in the courtroom and the glasses. Like that was just good stuff. Just so funny.
Or when he's like to Wally, he's like, who are you? And he was like, your brother? And he's like,
Right. Like, you know what, this Amnesia thing is kind of one of those tropes, I guess, in a way, right? I mean, Buffy did a memorable episode of it. But it works, right? Like, it's kind of fun to see characters. And I think, again, Grant Gustin, like, I think always does a great job playing all these different incarnations of his character. And it was nice, like Iris has said, it was nice to actually see him so, like, just lighthearted and fun, right? And just having a blast and discovering his powers.
It was fun seeing that lighter version of him. Oh, I like the testimony where he's like reading off the lines and he goes, smiling emoji.
That was great. Or even at the very beginning, something about like trained under the amazing Julian or whatever. Like,
oh yeah, that whole scene was pretty funny. And they're like, Julian's like heatmongers. That's such a stupid name or whatever. And the guy looks back. It just goes like, I like it. I like it.
They say that scene was just golden, man. Like that just like great writing, acting, everything. In the chat, by the way, Victor's actually Sci-Fi Pulse says, I thought the Amnesia stuff was funny as hell. Kerry Johnson says Grant was awesome as Barry, Bart, and Savitar. Oh, that's right. He says I want to go by Bart. Which is a nice reference, right, to there is an actual Bart character who was related to Barry somehow, right, in the comics?
Yeah, he's related. That's Impulse, right?
Yeah, that's Impulse. And then also, anyway, Gary says he must be trying to catch Kavanaugh and playing the most versions of himself. Nice. And then Victor says, ouch, my mind is hurting even more now with that recap. I will say the whole thing about evil future Barry and how he got created is one of those time travel paradox things that just fucking gives you a fucking headache.
Yeah.
Right? And like, I just be like, it's one of those things I'm not even gonna try to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Trust the science.
It's like Sarah Connor and her son.
It is.
Who Terminators go back to kill, but he would never have been born if
right, exactly. And that's what she says at the end of Terminator. She's like, it would give you a headache trying to figure this shit
out. Yeah, don't hurt yourself. Don't, trust the science. They'll figure it out. The science people will figure it out.
It was interesting. At least they acknowledge that it's hard to grasp because he's like going, the more you do it, the less it matters. The more you time travel, less it matters. And they pointed out that killing off Eddie didn't totally, destroy Reverse Flash and stuff. So basically, their rules, time travel rules, never make sense.
That's always the tricky thing with time travel. So you kind of, I guess, as a viewer, right? You kind of be like, "What? Okay, fine. Let's just move on. Let's just accept that, and let's just enjoy the ride."
I like it better than the Zoom explanation. That was really kind of weak, I thought.
Well, I mean, so I guess what else do you think? I mean, this is might even my favorite Barry Iris episode, to be honest with you, just because he was so light, and they just got to have a really fun relationship. It wasn't like worrying about her dying or the end of the world, or something. They actually got to be like be a fun couple. That was nice to see.
Yeah, and she talked about that memory when they first came to move to their house and stuff. That was touching.
Yeah, I feel like this was the episode they needed at this point in the season. Because I feel like it had gotten pretty heavy-handed and all the stuff. I mean, they have a lot of stakes happening and stuff, and it was kind of nice to see Barry be kind of, like not a care in the world, and it was fun. It was fun to see everybody's interactions, with it all. So
it was, because at least like in the other two seasons, I've kind of always thought Flash is the more, particularly obviously compared to Arrow, is the more fun show, the more lighthearted show, Although like this season in particular, particularly in the beginning, it wasn't always that way. It didn't feel like, which maybe I felt the beginning of the season was a little rough, but I like that. I like that when they have all that, the humor in there like that. It's a nice relief, I guess, with all the drama.
I just feel like you have to have a balance to it, and I think this is, you'd been pushing and that's the reason why I like the Flash. I felt like The one, I feel like the writing's better. I feel like the characters are pretty clearly defined, but I always feel like there's something, I don't know, at stake, and there's response, kind of like what do you call it, to their actions, where there's some kind of I'm trying to think of the word, consequences to the actions. And I enjoy that, but I know that at points, Barry's, some people have been kind of poking fun at him that he's always crying in every episode, or he's always depressed, and stuff. So it was kind of nice to kind of, for the show to be like, come on, we know what we're doing, it's still good. Don't try to say we're this, But
I'm waiting for Barry to be like, I just realized that I like to kill people.
Like Oliver?
Yeah, it's like Oliver. I'm a monster.
I've been stuck in the Speed Force for the past 5 years. It's been hell.
How many people die from lightning bolts? I'm wearing a weapon of death on my chest. Yeah. Dark turn. What doesn't make sense? We're talking about time travel rules and stuff. That bugged me a little bit. Bugged me more than the whole weird time loop thing. Was the effect on Wally and on Savitar. I'm just like, okay, wait a minute. So they wiped his memories, so now Savitar can't remember anything, but Savitar is a future version of Barry from there. So if he still exists, he would still remember at least up to that point, like that point on, right? And then, if Wally lost his powers because of Savitar losing memories, then why, if that's a time change thing, then why does everybody remember it? Why aren't they being affected time-wise to forget that it even happened? You know what I mean? It's not just like
it's the kind of stuff that makes your brain hurt.
That's why they need to stay away from time travel. I've said that a long time. And then they made Legends of Tomorrow. And then I just threw that.
We got a couple suggestions here for sitcom spinoffs. Carrie Johnson says HR and the Doc, I think meaning Tracy, right, are always good together. I watch a sitcom, which is them. Wait, is that who she means by the Doc? Who else is a Doc? Caitlin's got a, I don't know. Carrie, please elaborate, just so I make sure I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Anyway, but Sci-Fi Paul says, no, HR and Cisco, it would be like the Odd Couple done Flash style.
Who in Cisco?
Yes. HR and Cisco.
Oh, I was, after the Julie and Cisco thing, I thought that'd be kind of funny. They could be Odd Couple moving together.
Yeah. I like the HR Tracy thing, though. I like that they got together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
cool.
going to be interesting to see what happens there. She's probably going to die.
Oh, come on.
Then HR go dark.
No, come on. Don't put HR dark, man. He's awesome. He's like the lightest hearted one of all.
Yeah, I know.
What did you know what I really like this episode is the Caitlin Killer Frost stuff. She came back, she was working with them. Cisco I like the stuff with Cisco, like telling those stories and trying to reach out to her. And even though she said it didn't, you can see obviously even with the eyes briefly that it was affecting her and kind of bringing her back to Caitlin. Like that was nicely done, I think, as well. What do you guys think?
It was.
Yep, that's it. All right.
No. I can agree. I like the that at least she's got that, back and forth. That she's not completely one end. So at least it makes you feel like, okay, either they can try to bring her back, or maybe she's, they're hinting at maybe. I mean, I'm kind of curious if they'll make her kind of like an anti-hero. If she'll be kind of a villain, keep the powers, but be kind of a hero. I kind of wonder. I don't know.
I would actually really dig that, man. Like the more I've seen her at Killer Frost, like she's pretty awesome actually. Like Danielle Panabaker, she's doing a really good job, I think. Like,
yeah.
And the costume rocks, new costume. So
it would be interesting.
Yeah.
She'd be their Anya. I don't know, or their Spike.
Yeah, Spike, but just not not ridiculously funny.
Like no, Spike she's not very funny. That's one thing.
Well, that's she's not supposed to be, right? Cisco's the funny one. HR. In the chat, Carrie said yes. He was talking about HR and Tracy. So he was talking about.
And just one more logic thing. I thought it was kind of weird that they created a device to fix his memory, and conveniently it was going to be long distance and could interact with his suit, so they could do that same. It's like they didn't know that was going to happen. Why would they even make it that way? That was kind of weird.
That was just silly. That was just like they just needed it to do it. You know, they wanted him in the field and they needed to jump. That made no sense. Victor in the chat says, "I like HR because he brings heart to the team." He does indeed.
Yeah,
I like HR a lot, which is good because I actually before the Earth 2 Harrison Wells was my favorite, and I still love him. I really dig HR, man. Oh boy, see, are we gonna get like a fourth Harrison Wells next season though? I'm gonna keep missing all these awesome Wells though. I see, like. I wonder. You think they're gonna keep HR around next season?
I don't know.
I want an episode where they have to get all the Wells together to do something. They have to team up
to save the world.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing, man. Kavanaugh would love that, I'm sure. To play
I have to commend him as far as his acting because each season he's played a different version, and they've all rung true. Like none of them make me feel like, oh, but I kind of missed that one, or I kind of I see that other character from previously that he did last season. Each one has been great. You know, I've really enjoyed him on this series.
He's an awesome actor. Yeah, he does a great job.
Yep.
I don't know. Let's see. Anything else about the Flash?
What do you think about King Shark?
Oh, well, I think it was ridiculous that he just kind of showed up at the end, like he's the one guarding it. Didn't they? Oh, Argus, right? Supposedly had him in prison somewhere.
They did, yeah.
Oh, but of course, everybody breaks out of Argus, so I guess
maybe the invasion thing he got out because of that.
So you think that was a Dominator thing they were showing at the last scene?
I didn't know at first, but I read somewhere someone thought it was a Dominator thing, and it kind of does look a little. I haven't had a chance to actually dig around and look. I had to binge them this weekend, so. But I think it might be. And it kind of makes sense. It ties into what we've seen before.
But is it? You think it's still somewhere on Earth, that scene?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So the Dominator's like left some kind of alien power source behind. Is I guess what they're going for?
I think so.
But how would they know about this thing?
Well, they don't know yet, but I guess they're gonna find out next episode, right? It looks like. Because
that feels kind of too convenient, you know. That like, and there happens to be this. Right. I could see if it was like they knew about it, and then. We were kind of, we're hinting at that, but it's something for it to be like, why would they get King Shark to guard it? Why would he be even involved? You know, so I don't know. We'll find out next episode and see what, you know. But that seemed a little too, if that's what it is, you know, too convenient.
Kind of like creating a device that can fix his mind via his suit.
Exactly.
In the last second.
In the chat, Carrie Johnson says, Captain Cold and King Shark next week. If we don't get frozen fish sticks jokes, I'll be disappointed. That's what I'm not excited about. If you've seen the show before, I don't know, I'm probably in the minority, but I can't fucking stand Captain Cold.
It's so weird. I'm surprised you don't.
I really can't. And he's back, and he's talking, and his goddamn, it takes fucking 5 minutes to get one sentence out way, and just stop it. Like... Oh God! See. Of course, he got killed, but that's still not the end of him because all this time travel bullshit. So I don't even know what version of Captain Cold that we're supposed to be seeing here, right? The one.
I think it's before he leaves.
The one that the Legends went, like the villains, went back in Legends and got.
I think.
I don't like. I give up at this point. I don't know.
So I'm actually looking forward to it.
Marks, do you have any idea like what kind of Cold version this is of Captain Cold?
I don't know. I would imagine it was time travel or something. I think I read somewhere somebody was saying like desperate to save Iris, he'll break any rules or something. And I think maybe he time travels to get Captain Cold for whatever reason he needs his help.
See, maybe actually I'm actually curious to hear from you guys because I know a lot of people love Captain Cold. Why like, why do you? I guess why do you guys think he's cool? Sorry, no pun intended. Cool villain, or why do other people like him? Because to me, I just feel his powers are terrible because it's just a cold gun. He talks ridiculously, and I don't see him as this genius that everybody portrays him to be. I just see him as kind of an idiot. Like, he's not really an idiot, but I don't see him like as any. What makes him so greater than all these other like villains? You know.
But he's a good planner, good thief.
But I guess I don't even like in the first episode when he appeared, they really tried to point right like how great he was at that. I guess I didn't see that there was anything that amazing about his planning. Like why it was. I guess if you're gonna say a character is like a Sherlock Holmes almost, you really gotta fucking show me he's a fucking Sherlock. Like he's so much better than everyone else, and he's fucking amazing at what he does.
What they should have done is had him create his own cold gun. Instead of him getting the gun from Star Labs or he stole it or something, they should have done. I could see your point on that. That him not, he should be a little bit more. And I think in the comic books, he did create his own gun, so he does have that ability. He's also, he does. He's like a master criminal and stuff. I don't mind the way he talks. I think because it feels like it's an ode back to Edward G. Robinson. And all those like kind of the 30s gangster movies, kind of like what Anne Hathaway did with Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises. They said that she took her little kind of the way she spoke. She took because I guess Catwoman was based on a 30s movie star, and so she started talking kind of like her. And so I think that's kind of what maybe what's the actor's name? Might have been trying to do is kind of have some kind of element, as far as, but no, I think that's why I like him because he's trying something different. I would, in terms of it, I know it's very comic booky and it's kind of silly at times, but in those situations when you take risks, either people are going to love it or they're going to hate it. And I kind of like that. I'd rather he do that than just play it, in the middle. Because I've seen some of the characters that I've been so disappointed with kind of played it in the middle. They just kind of, okay, I'm me, and I like it where even if I hate you, I'd rather you just try something different than kind of going. But yeah, for me, I've liked him. I can't say he's my favorite villain. I think I've had some other ones of Flashes that I've really enjoyed, but yeah, that's just my take on it.
Oh, sure. I mean, like I said, it seems like a lot of people actually like him. Victor Snyder in the chat says, he is a thinker, man of action, and evil. He talks like he's talking down to everyone. That could kind of make sense, actually.
He's mansplaining everybody.
Oh, see, there's another reason I don't like him then.
But I like the character overall. I like that actor. I kind of like the character. I hope he does come back alive somehow. That's just me.
I just think they should do a lot more Prison Break so he's not available as much to do this character. Like, I'm not trying to diss Wentworth Miller, the actor. Like, it just is the character. I'm just not a fan. Because I've seen him in other stuff. Like, man, dude, he was freaking, I always forget this, but he was Chris Redfield in one of the Resident Evil movies.
Oh, yeah.
Which, because that character's iconic.
Oh, yeah.
So Kerry Johnson says he did at least reverse engineer the cold gun to know how it works so he could repair it. Oh, I guess that is true, right? Oh,
that's something.
Sci-Fi Paul says, geez, chill out, guys. All right. All right, guys, I'm done with my cold rant. But I actually thank you for sharing that in the chat and you guys, because I actually am curious about, why people do appreciate characters that I don't as much. It's always interesting to hear that. I think I'm sure everybody does not share my love of Patty Spivot. That's okay.
No, I'm with you on that. Yeah, she's one that I'll be on. There's like the first couple seasons, I also wasn't very on board with Iris. I feel like the actress wasn't quite there, and so when they brought Patty in, I was kind of like, I know she's not going to be the main love interest. And she blew me away. Like just their chemistry and everything. I got hooked. Even I got a little teary eyed when they broke up. You know, it blew me away, the actress and just their chemistry. But Iris, I want to say at the end of season 2 and 3, and I've just been impressed with her. She's been growing. I don't know what clicked, but she's gotten as good as everybody else on the show, at least to me.
Cool.
That actress is great. She was on Timeless and died. That was sad.
Oh, wait, which the one who played Patty Spivot?
Yeah. She's in the first episode.
Hey,
really? Oh,
she might get to come back on Flash.
Killed her off. Oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's on this show. It'd be great. You know, I hate that she's off Flash, but she's great on this show. And then she died.
Like, they'll bring her back.
Yeah, see, I wish they would, but they're not going to do it because they never do the relationships I want to see. Like, if I want to see a relationship, it's not going to happen on any shows. That's what I figured out.
They should have her back. It's Hot Pursuit.
I'm okay with that. I mean, there's too many speedsters, but if it brings her back, yes, I'm fine. Anything that brings Patty Spivot back, I'm cool with.
But I'm with you on that. I was very impressed with her.
Cool, awesome. Let's see here. I guess that wraps us up for Flash. Yeah, covered everything. I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. By the way, somehow I always find a way to bring up Patty Spivot in every episode. It seems like. All right, we're going to do ratings here. This is out of lightning bolts. 5 lightning bolts is the maximum score we can give. Marks, what do you give it?
Oh, it's tough. I don't know. I'm trying to decide 4 or 4.5. I'm not sure.
That's what I'm trying to decide, man.
Yeah. You know, I'm just going to say 4.5. Yeah.
All right. You know what? I think I'm going to go 4.5 too. I really like this episode. I think just about everything worked. I mean, you know what? All the time travel, whatever, mumbo jumbo. That's fine. But again, I really think it was one of the funniest ones they've ever done, and I really appreciated that. So, Aaron.
Yeah, I'll give it 4 lightning bolts. I really liked it. I don't know if it's as good as, for me, some of the other episodes, so that's why I kind of have to put it accordingly. But I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. My Pulse in the chat gives it 4 lightning bolt as well. All right, seems like this was a popular episode with people. That brings us to the last show we're going to talk about tonight, and that's Arrow. The episode is called Honor Thy Fathers. It is the 21st episode of Season 5. Written by Mark Guggenheim and Sarah Tarkoff, directed by Laura Belsey. So, in this episode, basically, Adrian Chase decides to send a bunch of bones, a dead body, a skeleton to Oliver, to the mayor's office. And he opens that up, and through DNA testing, well, first off, they discover it's, I don't remember who this dude was who got killed, to be honest. I don't know what the fucking name is.
Henry Goodwin.
What is it? Goodwin?
Henry Goodwin, yeah.
Henry Goodwin. Wow, you got a good memory. Or you got notes right there. You're looking at.
Who knows?
Use your mental abilities. Henry Goodwin. And Henry Goodwin was killed, and they discovered that Oliver and Thea's father was basically, supposedly, the one who killed him. Who's their father's name? What's his first name?
Oh.
Anybody help me out? Or help me out in the chat, folks.
Robert? No.
Robert Queen, right?
I feel like it is.
Yeah, I'm just going to call their father, but I think it's Robert Queen. You're right. So, by the way, yes, Thea is back in this episode. So Oliver doesn't want to believe it. Thea actually thinks it could be true based on their parents, not always telling them the truth. So Oliver is trying to kind of, see if he can clear his father's name. Meanwhile, while that's going on, there's a B plot with Renee and Quentin, and about Renee getting his daughter back, custody back. And he doesn't know if he can go to the hearing and go through with it because he doesn't want the daughter to hear about him talking about her mother who had like a drug addiction and kind of other bad things and traumatize her. And Quentin tries to, encourage him to go through with it, that his daughter really needs her, and all that stuff. And by the end of the episode, he does not show up to the hearing. And so the judge basically says, he's not going to get custody of his daughter. Back in the A plot, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't remember a lot what happened in the middle. I mean, I know Chase and Oliver square off at the end. What is there some important stuff I'm missing in the middle though? I mean, he discovers that the father is the one. Oh, that's right. Chase sends him a video, right? Him showing the father getting a fight with this Goodwin guy and pushing him. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because, of course, it's in this factory, and they're having a conversation over a vat of some toxic substance. And there's no railings, of course, here.
Surprised he didn't become Joker.
Right. And then during the argument, this guy gets pushed off by their father and falls in this vat of acid or whatever the fuck it is. And that's how he killed him. So it was kind of an accident, but then he covered it up apparently, like he got erased the footage or whatever. So they discover, their father was responsible for that. So they're not too happy about that, obviously. That's right. There's unfortunately a flashback going on, which may be the last one we see. No, it's not going to be. Not the way that ended, actually. I just remembered. But Oliver and Russian dude, tell me his name again, Marks. His Russian friend.
I don't remember. Core something.
Oh, because you love this guy, though. You love this guy and the actor.
Oh, you mean his friend?
His friend, Oliver's friend. Anatoly, thank you. Yeah, Anatoly. So they go back to the island where Oliver, they were stuck for a while because Oliver's plan is to have Anatoly tell some fishing boat or some boat to go rescue him. So he can explain that he's been stuck on this island and it doesn't look weird that he just shows up back to Star City in some weird way. But this will be more easier to explain to his parents and his family that he just been stuck on this island all this time, supposedly. But then the dude, Dolph Lundgren's character, he shows up and shoots Oliver with some kind of dart, and somehow he's on the island, and that's how that flashback ends. And then back in the present, Oliver does basically have. Oh, that's right. This other dude, Chase, is working with Chase to make this drug that Chase's father is doing, right? But it's even a worse version of the drug this time. And it's a guy we've seen earlier, right? Something happened to him where he can't feel any pain. Is the idea?
Yeah, that was earlier in the season.
Yeah.
It was a Wild Dog was a big part of that episode. Yeah,
right. And so the rest of the team is trying to stop that dude, while Oliver squares off with Chase. Anyway, they manage to stop the other dude and everything. And Oliver and Chase have a pretty good mano-a-mano match. But Oliver does not defeat him by his skills, but rather by dropping the bomb of your father was going to disown you, Adrian. He never loved you like at least my father loved me. And Chase gives himself up. He basically says Oliver can kill him, but Oliver says he's going to face justice. And that's more or less what happens. All right. So again, please keep going in the chat here, folks. What you thought about that episode? What do you guys think?
Well, I'll go first. I'm kind of curious what you guys will say after me because I don't usually watch Arrow. I've only watched a few of the first season, and then that one the first time that I was on the show, I watched that, and it was interesting for me to watch it. I wanted to watch the one afterwards, but it's not online anymore. But this is the first time I think I had it where it had all the team. Usually the episodes I've watched, it's mainly focused on the Green Arrow. And I was kind of curious how I was going to like it or if I was going to be. And I found this episode so frustrating. There was so many things that were so convenient and didn't make sense to me. I understand some stuff I don't know, in terms of the storylines and stuff like that. But there were just so many things that even if I didn't know anything, it was just so frustrating. I was like, why are they doing that? Why is this? Or it just felt like, it's kind of like what you had said about he gave up because he was told this. He was told that his dad didn't love him or whatever. I was just so seriously? I mean, I'm sure they're going to have a big fight later on in the end of the season, but I just felt I don't know. I was just so annoyed with this episode. I found I almost felt I don't think I want him to have a team. I wish it was just Arrow. And he had people that he works with from time to time, but they're their own thing. But I don't know what it was, but there was something that I liked about that one episode. I think because it just felt, I know you guys have watched it before, so they've gone through that and it was just recycling stuff or that it went too dark. But to me, I just felt like it rang true to what they were trying to say about him. And I feel like he's playing one thing in the season and in the show, and everybody else is doing other stuff. You know, it feels like he's got this one through line, and it feels like he wants to play it a certain way, and everybody else is kind of like, oh, here's your comic relief person, or here's somebody with issues that it doesn't really go along with this venture. But there were just so many things that frustrated me. I think that was the part that frustrated me the most was when the team is going up. I think it's towards the end, and they're gonna try to stop the main villain from doing whatever up on the rooftop, and then Prometheus is there on the steps, the staircase, and he's, Green Arrow's like, he's mine, leave him alone. And part of me is kind of like, okay, I can understand doing that if he wasn't on your way up to the top of the building. I could see if he was like off to the side and you're going up to he's like, you guys take care of the other guy, take care of them, I'll take care of Prometheus. But it was literally, you got a gang of like 5 or 4 superheroes that could fight Prometheus right then and there, beat him up, and then go and take care of the thing that was on the roof. So to me, it made no sense why, they just kind of like, here Arrow and Prometheus are fighting on that one little step, and then everybody walks around them to go up the stairs. And I just was like, what is... I would be like, if I was part of his team, I'd be like, I don't care what you think. We're going to stop him too. I don't care that it's like, your own fight or whatever. We could fight. We could take care of him now. What if you don't? He's beaten you before. So there's just too many things, that frustrated me about this episode. So I could go into more detail, but those are the things that annoyed me.
Well, Marks, what about you?
I liked it overall. Okay, it wasn't one of the best, but I liked it. Brought up stuff about his dad in the past and stuff. I mean, we knew his dad couldn't be all that great of a guy. I mean, he was part of the whole conspiracy deal in season 1, so he wasn't 100% innocent guy. So I mean, it was interesting seeing the actor make a return appearance and all that stuff. The video of him saying that stuff to Oliver. Did we ever see that video before? Is that something new?
I don't recall seeing it in the chat. Let us know if we have. I mean, like, he left the book. Obviously, he said stuff on the actual in person before he died. I don't remember seeing those videos though.
Yeah, I don't remember him ever getting a video. So that threw me a little bit. It makes a little bit of sense. It helps fill in some gaps a little bit because I thought he went pretty extreme on reading in subtext of what his dad said on the boat and stuff. But yeah, I was a little surprised by that. But I thought it was an okay episode. I don't think Adrian Chase really got beat. I think it's part of his plan. So I'm pretty sure.
And the fact that they had an HD TV in his prison cell.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Well, it's nice that he gets some entertainment.
He got that white collar crime, huh?
Yeah.
It's just like, what? I was just so annoyed with this episode.
I agree that I'm sure Chase is going to be, somehow get out, and so there's some big battle, right, or something with Slade is coming back, right, or something. So this is not the end of Chase, I'm sure.
No, I think he wants to be there. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So part of his plan. Yeah. Because he still hasn't told him about William yet. So.
Right. What? See, I don't like overall. It was kind of a mediocre episode. I don't know. I almost kind of like that he was able to defeat Chase kind of at his own game in a way by dropping that knowledge, though it did kind of come out of nowhere. I mean, I definitely do expect like some really big fight scene between the two of them, but I think that's coming up later still. That's why they didn't go all out here. But I'm okay. Here's the thing. Oliver, he said it, but I think it's one of those obligatory scenes, right? Like, I want to see Arrow and Chase go one-on-one. I want to see Oliver finally kick this fucker's ass. So like, I'm okay that the rest of the team did that because they're giving me what I want. Like, what I think what they feel the audience wants to see.
I just didn't like the way they staged it, in terms of that, because it was literally like everybody had to go through the stairs. Why would you do that? I could see if he was off to the side and, okay, the stairs are that way and everybody, no, just go that way, I'll take care of them. Makes perfect sense to me, but to me it made no sense, the fact that he's literally on your way. He's literally, you got to go through him, might as well all, bum rush him and then go to the next. It made no sense to me.
Excuse me, Prometheus.
Yeah, excuse me. That's it was funny the way that they ran around him. It was just because you had like 3 or 4 people like running by him, and it just.
It would actually be hilarious if if Curtis actually had said that, like, "Oh, excuse me, Prometheus."
It felt like I don't know. It just kind of was silly, and especially.
They could have just went up the elevator or somehow.
Just stage it a little different, and then I would have been like, "Oh yeah, okay, that's all right. We're gonna get that." And then even for like how Arrow did it, I just wish like even if that is Prometheus's plan, that it could have it should have been more than just that. Him saying that, it could have been him saying it and taking Prometheus off guard, and then Arrow kind of maybe even gets him to the point where he's like about to kill him, but then stops and's like. No, I'm taking you in, for justice or whatever. So at least you feel like, I don't know, it just felt too convenient. It was my problem.
Yeah, no, I hear you. In the chat, by the way, about the TV in the cell, Sci-Fi Paul says it wasn't 4K though. Victor Steiner says, "Hey, I still have a black and white TV." That's true. That's what they should have gave Chase. And then Kerry Johnson says, Chase is pulling a Joker from the Dark Knight by getting arrested. He's where he wants to be.
Yep. And I can buy that, yeah.
And Sci-Fi Pole says, yep, I want to see Prometheus get his butt kicked by Ollie, and that Ollie has a celebratory cheeseburger, a big belly burger with extra chili. That'd be cool.
Oh, it did have one of my favorite lines of the week.
Which is?
The bad guy's Derek Sampson is the character's name, the one that didn't feel pain. He's like a pro wrestler dude.
Yeah.
It was pain is just another prison, and I'm a free man. I thought that was like, I was like, that's a good line.
Wait, is he a wrestler? The character's a wrestler, or the actor is a wrestler?
The actor's a wrestler. Yeah. The actor.
Yeah, I think does he go by? He's like, I mean, I don't watch it anymore. I don't know the new wrestlers. I want to see he's like Cody Rhodes or something like that, or something. I don't know. I don't think he goes or does. Is his name?
You could say anything. Yeah.
You're like
Cody Runnels is his name. I don't know if that's what he goes by.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's what he goes by as a pro wrestler, but yeah.
I think what he might go. It's probably Cody Rhodes. He's one of the new, like kind of the new wrestlers, and I haven't followed. I think I maybe probably with The Rock and stuff. That's probably my limit. That generation, and then after that, I'm like, I don't know who's who, but I've recognized him from time to time. So
yeah, they need The Rock. He could be a villain next year.
That'd be cool, actually. Be a good villain. So I mean, yeah, you're right. Like the stuff with the father was pretty good. I certainly like seeing Thea back. I always talk about how I love Thea. It sucks that she hasn't been on much this season. I really would have liked to see her and Speedy again suit up, but of course, for the plot, they had to have her stay behind and actually watch that video that Oliver didn't want to see. Here's what I hated about this episode, though: the thing with Renee. Because I loved what they've done with this character in the back, and like I don't know, episode or two ago, the stuff with his daughter was awesome. It was so cool to see him progressing. And the stuff with Quentin, by the way, is like I really like his character a lot. Like he's really come a long way, I think. And like in the bonding him and Renee have done, right? And Quentin kind of, taking him under his wing. Like that was great. But then at the end, he was late. I was like, okay, he's gonna run in the door at the last minute, right? Right before the judge does her decision. And no, he doesn't show up. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I couldn't believe that he actually chose to give up his daughter. And so I feel totally cheated by all the emotional stuff they've set me up with earlier with him and his daughter. Unless now they've got 2 more episodes, so maybe they're gonna rectify that before the season's up. But if they don't, I'm gonna be really fucking pissed off because they got me invested and they've ripped it apart away.
I think it's not too late.
It's not too late,
but
I don't like it.
I don't know why they don't just. He should have requested like his daughter be out of the room whenever he gave his testimony. It's not like his daughter has to hear the testimony.
Yeah,
judge needs to hear it.
Yeah, that was something I couldn't comment on because I didn't know the history, and even with that character, so it was like I was watching it, but I couldn't tell either way what was going on. So I just kind of felt like, oh, okay.
So Ian at Sci-Fi Pulse agrees with me in the chat. He says, now they fuck it up by having him not turn up to fight for his daughter. Didn't make sense. It seemed really cheap. That's my thing. I think it cheapens the awesome stuff they've done before. Now, again, like I will give them, I think they can hopefully rectify that in the next 2 episodes. Victor Snyder says, I'm opening a Big Belly Burger in my town of Newark, Ohio. All right, awesome. You're going to go to Ohio. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to think what else we had to talk about. I mean, the flashbacks were totally meaningless to me. Like, I didn't know what there.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, at least... No, go ahead.
They weren't necessary, but it was kind of a nice way to, like, get to how he got to the island and set everything up, so... And why
that's what I figured out. They were doing it just to show, like, this is how he was finally found, and now we're ending all these flashbacks. Except that the thing that happens with the Russian dude, the Dolph Lundgren dude, Kovar. Yeah. And I don't know now what's going to happen. Like, there's more fucking goddamn island shit.
I guess he's not going to become KG Beast. Oh, well.
You were really looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of hoping, mind you, I only saw that previous episode that I was on, and when they brought Dolph Lundgren back to life, I was kind of hoping, like, ooh, would he be in the present time? Maybe they didn't realize, and then he might be one of the villains along with Prometheus and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know quite, all the background. So I was a little bummed to see he's still in the flashback, because you kind of feel like, well, we know, Oliver survives, so it just kind of feels like, well, what's the point of following this, But I thought maybe, he might be maybe something underneath in the background for the season, but I guess that's not how the show works.
We find out he's Adrian Chase's real dad.
Oh.
And also Oliver's real dad. They're half brothers.
All right.
Oh, no.
5 stars.
By the way, so speaking of logic stuff, how Oliver and Anatoly fly there in a plane. It is established that Oliver can fly. Anatoly has no idea how to pilot, as far as I got from that scene. How is Anatoly getting off the island?
Oh.
Yeah.
There was a boat off the coast.
Yeah, I thought I saw that in the scene, right? Okay, and if there's a boat off the coast, what are they doing with the plane? They're just sitting there.
They're going to give the plane to the boat, so that way they loop back around 2 days. That's what it is. Yeah. You sell those for a lot of money. We'll go.
Okay, maybe they sink. I don't know. That's also way too much of a risk, though. By the way, like if these Fisher people or whatever he tries to bribe don't show up, what is Oliver's just going to sit there for another 5 years or something?
Well, maybe Anatoly will check back in a week or something. Just to make sure.
Yeah, that would have been great. But Anatoly actually says this is the last time I'm going to see you in a very long time or something, or forever. So that just made no sense to me. Victor says Kovar is Luke Skywalker's dad. All right. Yeah, he's Darth Vader. He's going to fly Kovar Airlines. That's what Sci-Fi Paul says. All right. Anyway, is that anything else about the arrow you want to mention?
He's back in costume.
That was nice to see, sure.
Yeah. No, not really.
That's probably the best thing we could say about it. And that thing was back. That was probably my favorite part. Yeah, again, I don't know. Unfortunately, this close to the season, the Flash was the only one this week I felt like he was really working on all cylinders.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Flash was the one that, and I feel like that for most of the time. I feel like Flash is always the better episode compared to the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do this out of some boxing glove arrows. Aaron, what do you give it?
Well, because they had a Dolph Lundgren appearance, it gets at least one boxing glove arrow, and then I break one arrow, and I'll give it another half. So 1.5 arrows for this episode.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I was annoyed.
Marks.
I'm gonna give it 3 boxing glove arrows. There's certain things I liked about it with the dad and stuff, and certain things I didn't like about it. You know, that we already talked about. So
Yeah, again, because I think last week's, which I didn't think was too high, I gave 3. I think I'll give this 3.5 because I think it was a little better than that. There is some, stuff I think was okay. So on this one, so 3.5 boxing glove arrows, I guess. I saw in the chat, so if I post gave it 2, so he did not really enjoy it too much either.
And for me, I don't know the other story, so I think that also hurts me. Like maybe I would have given it a 2, but I don't know the other stories as well as you guys do. So, but
I know why. I know why there's a TV in the Argus cell. You know, after they gave was it Lila, right? A hard time about that hacker dude being in that like box with his hood on and stuff. They're like, okay, we're gonna be the nicer Argus now. We're gonna give him bright yellow outfits and give him big screen TVs and stuff. So it's Dig's fault. That's what I'm trying to say.
That could be it. Actually, that's logic.
That was like a huge TV. That was like bigger than my TV. Yeah, you might as well just go to prison if you want to watch TV.
But you only get the one channel. That's what sucks.
Yeah. The problem is the remote isn't in the cell.
Yeah. By the way, that jumpsuit was so fucking yellow. It was like canary yellow. It's ridiculous.
You're just trying to brighten things up,
Yeah.
Trying to change his mood and make him a happy guy. In the chat, Carrie Johnson says Thea's worth at least 1 boxing glove arrow. Oh, I say she's at least worth 2. Carrie and me also like Thea.
Yeah, for me, I just need. I don't know. I'm learning the characters, so I don't have that history yet. But maybe maybe I'll try to continue. You guys, let me know if season 5, because I think what's hurt me on not wanting to follow it is because of seasons 3 and 4. Because people said so many bad things, it made me not want to continue 1 and 2. Like I watched a few of season 1 and then I stopped.
That's too bad. Because season 2.
Yeah, because I've heard season 2 is amazing, and I'm just kind of scared to invest if I know after season 2.
Watch season 1 and 2. Skip 3 and 4 and go directly to 5.
Okay. Because I have to admit, I mean, I know you weren't as big on that one episode I watched, but I really enjoyed that one. But I don't know the whole. Maybe if I watch the first 2 seasons, then skip the other 2, and then I go to that season 5, I'll be like, this is as good as the others.
I'll be honest, I'm actually not really that down on season 3 and 4 as a lot of people are, but I will agree they were definitely below the other stuff, the first 2. And 4th season, I think, is the worst one they did.
Pretty down on 4.
Like 3, I don't think actually was. 3 was okay still. I think there was some decent stuff in 3. Like with Ra's al Ghul and Nis and stuff, there was some good stuff there still.
I liked the Ra's al Ghul elements of that season. I thought the murder mystery, I think the writers weren't thinking about the genre very much there, and they had a murder mystery going on, but they didn't really treat it that way. And
now I'm forgetting, what was the murder mystery? Oh wait, well,
no, don't ruin it. Yeah, in case
never mind. I want to ruin it for Eric. Forget it. Don't say it.
But I think I should try to just watch it and catch up and see if what my feelings are. But because I think there's good elements of it.
In the chat, Sci-Fi Pulse says, "Yeah, just watch season 1, 2. It works as an arc on its own." Is what he says.
Oh, okay.
That's true. It totally. I think
Because I've heard people say, season 2 is so amazing, and it got people. I mean, I think it helped get Flash to happen and all that stuff, and now after that, it was kind of like,
Oh yeah, because Barry Allen debuted on season 2 of Arrow, actually.
Okay, but I think of the fact that it was such a huge hit, it helped. Maybe the studio to say, okay, we'll go make Arrow or the Flash now. But yeah, I just haven't been able to get myself to do it. I'm scared of what awaits in some of those.
Yeah,
don't give in to fear. Fear leads to the dark side.
And speaking of the TV, Victor Snyder says basically Chase gets to watch C-SPAN all day long. Oh, that's not. Yeah, what's better than C-SPAN? That actually could be a punishment if you think about it.
Especially if they loop it where they keep showing the person that put you in jail.
Oh, yeah, they keep showing Oliver's speech.
Yeah, and speeches.
Or the Oliver makes a recording saying your father doesn't love you and just keeps looping that. All right, so there you go, folks. That's our take on Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow this week. So there's 2 more episodes for each of these 3 shows. So we're almost here at the season finales. We'll have to see what awaits. Oh, one thing I didn't bring up is the Supergirl. One thing though, I feel like with the Daxamites now coming through the Stargate, I feel like it's almost kind of too much of a parallel to the first season. Right?
Yes.
With the bad Kryptonians or whatever, like coming through. You guys feel that way too, kind of?
Yeah. No, I agree. To me, I felt like they were just replaying the same thing. It didn't feel as impactful. Like, whoa, okay, it felt very similar. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out.
Hopefully, they'll do something where, because I keep on expecting with that show, they keep promising that, because the issue I've had with Kara this season is that no responsibility kind of thing, that I want what I want and I'll get it, and I can kind of be the way I am, which has made her look bad. And I kind of want to finally see some kind of repercussion to some of her actions. Kind of like what the Flash has. He does one thing to try to save his mom, and there's consequences to what happens to all his friends. And I feel like Supergirl has not had that. To at least make her grow up a little bit, or at least likable again. Because to me, this season, I've not enjoyed her.
She's gonna fly in reverse, rewind time, create a new flashpoint.
Yes.
No new flashpoints.
Yeah, they've given her this pride flaw, I think, in their character. And I know, and you can tell they know they have it there, because other characters comment on it occasionally, but they haven't really seemed to try to find a way to resolve it, like for her to overcome it in any way. Like in season 1, I feel like her big flaw was it was lack of confidence that she could be as good as her cousin or be a superhero and stuff, and that was a good arc, that whole season of her like becoming who she is. Yeah. Now she's too much of that. Now she's too prideful.
Yeah, and even in some of the episodes, what was the one episode where it was her and was it Maggie, that they were kind of at odds about the philosophies on how to take care of criminals and things like that. Oh, yeah, and I thought that might be a good episode of her kind of learning a lesson. I felt like it wasn't. She was still right in a way. So I never felt like, this is. I've not liked the writing with the Supergirl lately. It just feels like what they've done with her character. And now I know some people are complaining she seems to be sharing too much with everybody. Like too much time. Like she needs to be the lead, and I feel like sometimes the episodes tend to focus on other characters, which I'm okay, but I don't know.
She wants more time off.
Yeah, maybe I wonder if they do that. Maybe she's got a feature film on the way. And that something in secret, something else, and that she's taking the time off so that
I don't think it's that.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I think she's like, I will sing for you this season if you give me so many hours off.
No, I think. I mean, I saw her at Comic-Con. I think she really loves playing that role. Like, truly loves playing the role.
Yeah. No.
I just think they've done like a much better job this season developing the other characters, but that's been at the detriment of the main character, her character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
unfortunately, the way they portrayed her.
That's kind of what they did with Arrow too. They spent so much time on these new characters that they also took away a little bit from Arrow and the original 3. Him and Felicity and
Diggle. Yep.
Yeah,
the good old days of season 1 and 2.
I feel like that was my biggest kind of complaint, was I just felt there was too many characters helping him out. It felt like there's something, he lost something because of that. The character, I feel like the actor's trying to play it like he's still got that edge to him, but I feel like it just doesn't. I don't know. To me, I felt something different about him having all those friends. I wish it was almost like they had their own group and then he would help them out, but not always be with them.
Yeah, like Batman and the Outsiders.
Yeah, kind of like I like you guys for now, but now I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to take on Prometheus.
They seem to do that in the comics of Batman a lot. They'll have like, I'm solo Batman. Then he's like, okay, I'll get a sidekick. And then he's like, all right, I got a whole family of people. And then it's like, I'm sad now. I'm alone again. Go away.
Well, so let me ask this question then, and Aaron, you may not be able to answer this as well because you haven't seen as much of the Arrow. But for Marks and the people in the chat, if you could choose like any, I guess, as like the main characters, the main team with Oliver, like who would you want to see there? Like I think for me, I would want to see Diggle, Thea, Dinah, and maybe Curtis. Like Mark, who would you like if you could choose anybody like going forward for?
Did
like,
you not say Felicity in that?
I did not. No, like seriously. At this point, again, if we're going back before season 3 and 4, absolutely. But like if we're going currently forward, I think again, they just ruined her too much, and let's just go get out of here.
Like if it was pre-Olicity, maybe she'll get amnesia.
They need to do that.
What's funny? Before you came up with the Mother's question, I was going to do the super tweet being, what character would you love to see get amnesia? And I was going to say Felicity.
It's funny. Yeah, I think it'd be. I think it'd be same. I like Wild Dog, but I feel like he doesn't. He needs to be on his own show or a different team. He also doesn't really fit in a way because he's got all his guns and they tend to shy away from guns. Even though Black Canary used a pistol in this episode.
Yeah, even though they've been using guns a lot this season, which I think they need to get away from.
Yeah, that was that was a bit striking in this episode to see that they were like using guns. It kind of I don't know how I felt about that.
I don't like that at all.
I don't understand if those guns. I'm confused if those guns shoot real bullets or not. Like,
no, they're supposed to be. I think like rubber bullets.
They seem to be hit and miss on that. Sorry. Sorry, that joke shot blanks.
That was better. That's more a target. Well, you're right. Like everybody, like John and Oliver, even. I mean, John has been this season, but Oliver, the last few episodes, have been using guns. I don't know why Dinah was this. I don't want to see Black Canary using guns. I want her to using her staff and using martial arts and using her scream.
Yeah, I found that really odd. In that one scene, she just whipped out a pistol and started shooting everybody. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. So that was the first time. I thought they'd been doing that to where it felt off. Like I just wasn't. I didn't realize that was just for that episode.
She normally doesn't. And then
the other characters have, though. Been using guns.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, Oliver. For the last few episodes, Oliver's been shooting a gun rather than being the Green Arrow. So, which I find ironic. He's like, I don't want to be a murderer, so I'm going to shoot people. It's like,
yeah. No,
I think it's supposed to be like rubber, some kind of bullets that don't kill people. Supposedly.
I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose. Wild Dog's guns are pretty wicked though. They're like they shoot off.
They're like automatic almost, right? Like kind of like.
I think they're automatic pistols or something. Yeah.
They are, but he doesn't ever hit anybody with it. Really, seems like he just sprays and gets his ass kicked or something, right?
Yeah. Oh well.
I don't know, I've never been I'm not a huge fan of the Punisher either, and that kind of stuff. I like heroes who use their skills, right? Either their powers or their martial art training or their archery training, whatever. Some kind of not just anybody can pick up a gun, right? And yes, I know it needs different training and stuff to use it, but. I don't know. That's for me. A hero always does different ways than just picking up a gun
to defeat. Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's something that I don't know. It feels, I don't know. It's borderline being a villain, I guess. And it doesn't take much. It's like anybody can shoot a gun. Well,
Punisher, they really treat it. I mean, they're like, when they had him on Daredevil, there was a sharp contrast between him and Daredevil and their philosophy of being vigilantes, and I feel like in some ways Green Arrow was trying to touch on that with vigilante, but then it was just very shallow in comparison. So, and then didn't even make any sense whenever you start shooting guns and stuff.
In the chat, Victor Snyder says, "Yes, arrows could never kill a person. Not if you use a boxing glove arrow."
Right.
Which is what you should use.
You might not like our ratings, but it'll never kill you.
That's right. All right, I guess that does it. We'll be back, of course, the next week to talk about the next to last episodes of the seasons for all these shows. And, of course, tomorrow night, if you like gaming stuff, we do Monday Night Mayhem. And we're doing Dungeons and Dragons tomorrow. So Marks and I are players in that. We're going to have a fun time as always, adventuring. Actually, our DM saw this. I think this is the week, right, where he has been itching to do it. I guess there's going to be a lot of really either amazing reveals or some craziness we have to deal with. So we're going to have to see what happens tomorrow. The week after that, Marks runs a game called The Strange that we like to play. And then I'm trying to think. In about 3 weeks, I guess, for now, from me tomorrow, I'm actually going to be doing game mastering for the very first time ever. We're going to be playing a game called The Dark Eye, which is a very cool German RPG that's recently been translated into English through a Kickstarter campaign. And it's a fantasy. It's kind of like a D&D world, which is very cool. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you want to see me game master, and then Marks and the other guys are going to be players in that world. It'll be Monday nights. So we'll be going back between Dungeons & Dragons and Dark Eye at that point as we get into June. All right, cool. Let's see. I guess that's it. Let's do some links, though, before we get out of here. So, Aaron, thank you again for being our guest. Where can people check out your work or what you're up to?
Yeah, you can watch my web series, We Are Angels, that's on YouTube. Just type it in. I don't know if the website's still up or whatever, but I know that all the videos are on YouTube. And then the rest, I guess we'll just have to we're trying to work on a few new projects, so they're kind of in development right now. So other than that, you can kind of check out my stuff there.
Please do. Aaron is awesome. He's also an award-winning cinematographer. He's one of the best cinematographers I've seen. He's great. So Marks, where can people check you out?
You can find stuff about me over at markspio.com. Books and writings I'm doing, or the podcast I co-host called GenreTainment. And then you can also tweet at me over at Twitter at Mr. Marks. All
right. And, of course, all our stuff you can find at supergeekedup.com. Besides the gaming shows and this show, Super Geeked Up's there, which is the geek culture, geeky improv show I do. You can catch up on the past episodes, our most recent season. And Super Knocked Up, which I mentioned earlier in the show, which is my comedy series about a supervillain gets pregnant by her superhero nemesis. You can watch a couple seasons of that. Actually, you can watch it now on Amazon for free. All those links are right on the homepage of Super Geeked Up, or you can go to the show's page. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Marks. Thank you for everybody who's watching and chatting along there in the chat. We always appreciate you guys. It's always fun to have you live. Shout out to Anthony Listersman, who just joined us there at the end. He just popped in. Thank you. And everybody on Twitter as well.
Is he at Walmart?
No, that's right. Last week during, I don't know, one of those shows. I think it might have been the gaming show, right? Or maybe, no, it was this show, I think, actually, right? He was at Walmart.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Anyway. But yes, he was watching at Walmart. And he actually told me later, I asked him this story, that he got one of the employees was asking about what he was watching, and he said, they're not heroes, they're legends, which is great. Then he told him all about our show. So there you go. Maybe we have a new Walmart employee watching our show. All right. Well, if you're a Walmart employee or not, thank you very much for watching. We will see you hopefully next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe some of you tomorrow night, Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for our Monday Night Mayhem gaming show. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.